y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Dun's Favorite here on Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's your boy, the Dun. We're here tonight to do a preview of the NFC South. And I've got a panel along with me. Starting first, y'all already know who he is. He's been on the show a lot during the playoffs, the whole entire playoff run. Ren, what's good, man?
Hanging out, being cool. You know, it worked out pretty well for us down here in Florida. Yeah, thanks for having me back, and I'm excited to. Actually, I'm really excited to hear. We've already done. We do a podcast called PewterCast. Me and I got a co-host named Steve Carney, and we've already done sort of our round robin. We got Orlando Ledbetter from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Okay. We brought in, I really don't know the Panthers guy. It was the first time we brought him, but he was great. And then we got, I'm forgetting his name, Mike Neighbors, the guy who actually been interviewing Drew Brees post-game for like the past 10 years. We got him on. But I'm interested to hear sort of some different opinions where they feel their teams are in the NFC South and, talk about this. It's going to be fun.
All right, I'm glad you can come back on. Yeah, I know you talked about Ledbetter. I'm gonna give you another good source the next time. Ledbetter is really not that good, to be honest with you. But hey, he's very biased, like very biased. So I can hook.
He didn't seem like a big fan of the team.
He is. It's one thing being a fan, but it's another way of being impartial, and actually talking factual information. He doesn't really give that out to our fan base. That's just me. I'm just used to everybody, but I can hook you up with some better people to talk to. All right, my boy TJ Jones. Hey man, let everybody know they pretty much know who you are, but just reintroduce yourself to everybody again.
Hey, how everybody doing, man? I'm TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. Excited to be back here again, man. Last time I was here, we had a really good time. And just looking forward to talking about the NFC South, man, and, just getting different perspectives, man. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me, and just ready to get to it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. I know everybody was talking about, man, last time you did a show with TJ, y'all was on for over three hours. And I'm like, it ain't going to be that long this time. Last time, it was just me. Now, I got a whole fiance and kids now I got to tend to. So
hey, but that's how, a friendship, you know what I'm saying, evolved in that. So, man, we've been cool ever since. So, hey.
Exactly. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. And then we got Cody on from the C3 Panthers podcast. Let everybody know who you are, where they can find you.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I appreciate you for having me. My name is Cody Lashney, representing the Panthers from the C3 Panthers podcast that you can find every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. And we're now doing a Friday free-for-all show every Friday at 7 p.m., where literally anybody can come on and BS and talk football. I'll be giving out the link to the StreamYards in those show. They're for everybody, man, even everybody here on this video right now. And I'm also the analyst for the Carolina Panthers on drafttech.com, where I write the first and second round picks for the Carolina Panthers. Happy to be here tonight, y'all.
Man, we happy for you to be here, man. Appreciate it. And then I got my partner in crime, Big T, LT. What's good, man?
Hey, everybody doing, here to discuss about our beloved Dirty Birds. We had a rough last 3 seasons, but I feel like with everything that didn't take place this off season, we should be able to be very competitive for years to come.
Yes. And hey, we're gonna talk about that as well, because I'm ready to talk about these Falcons, man. But hey, if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. All right, started with you, Ren. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2020 Super Bowl champions. We know y'all won y'all Super Bowl in y'all hometown this past February, but it's another thing. It's a new season now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are the defending champions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm putting the emphasis on defending.
Sure.
How did y'all get better this offseason? When all this confetti fell down and y'all were hosting the Lombardi Trophy and Tom Brady almost threw it in the bay,
Yeah.
y'all celebration. How did y'all become better?
Well, I guess we became better. The most obvious thing is no one left. They were able to sign all the starters, and the 22 starters are all coming back. Quite a few of them were free agents, such as Shaq Barrett. He was out. He was up free agent. Leonard Fournette, Gronk, Antonio Brown. All those guys are back. Plus, you can. Some people don't count Fournette as a starter. Some people don't count Antonio Brown as a starter. So, so like the top 24 guys that actually play offense and defense, such as nickel slots and things like that, they're all back. After that, you'd have to point to Giovanni Bernard, the back of Cincinnati. He's an excellent blitz. He can pick up the blitz. He's excellent at that. He's also has very good hands, and he's going to be definitely the Bucs' third down back. Between Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette last year, they both tied the league lead in drop passes as a running back. They both had 7. So we had close to, I think we had 16, 17 drops from the running backs, if you include Keyshawn Vaughn, who was a second-round pick a couple years ago, or last year, actually, I believe. So that would be the biggest improvement. Of course, everyone being back, and then through the draft, the defensive line is old. We have the 2 oldest interior starting defensive linemen to actually will play. Steve McClendon, as soon as he plays a play, he'll be the oldest player in the interior defensive line in the NFL, and then Dominican Sue will be the second oldest. So we had to get young in the offensive line. Of course, JPP, he's rolling into year like 11. Shaq Barrett, even though he's relatively new because he spent his first 4 or 5 years behind Von Miller up there in Denver, he's over 30 now, and he just got a big contract. So we had to get young against the defensive line. First round, of course, the last pick, we got Joe Tryon out of Washington. We've had 3 days of camp. Of course, the praise is high for him. Of course, that's who they wanted. That's who they targeted all the time and that, but he's got the length. He's got the movement. He has the power. He just needs more tools in his toolbox to sort of live up to that first round billing. After that, I can't really say we got better except for special teams. Kyle Trask, we'll see what happens with him. No one really wants to have a conversation about Kyle Trask because you're not even going to see him for 2 years. The most exciting player after that would be Jalen Darden. Wide receiver out of North Texas, led the NCAA in touchdowns last year.
Yeah, I love that pick.
Yeah, he was a really good pick. And the all-day 3, it all had to do with special teams. The Bucs have notoriously been bad on special teams forever. I mean, since the beginning. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember every start of every Bucs game. The Bucs haven't returned a kickoff in their history, and this will make 1,233 kickoffs. And we finally broke that about a decade ago. But I think there's been 2 total and maybe 2 punt returns, and that's it. Their kickoff team gave up the most yards than anyone in the league last year. So they got Darden, who's penciled in as wide receiver 6 because the wide receiver room is ridiculously deep. But he's gunning for punt return and kickoff return. And then after that, they got a couple linebackers. This is in order. But they got KJ Britt, a guy out of Auburn, the alpha male, who, if this was 1993, probably would have been a day 2 pick, but he just can't run. He's not a Devin White. He's not a Levante David. He's not a Luke Kuechly. He's not a Davis. He's a guy that he just can't run with guys coming out of the slot or the tight ends. We got Mr. Irrelevant, the other linebacker, Grant Stewart, big hair, don't care, just fire. These guys are going to be counted on to sort of bring up the competition on the special teams, bring those guys together and sort of make them a unit and really take some pride in it and try to, not that it's, obviously the Bucs won the Super Bowl, so who really cares if they gave the most yard on kickoffs? Well, if we didn't win the Super Bowl and Kansas City returned to kick, and that was sort of like a big problem, it was just something to point at. And since all the starters are back, that's all the Bucs really could do. They also got a guy out of BYU, a cornerback, Wilcox, long, lanky, Bucks type. He's 6'2", over 200 pounds, hasn't missed a tackle since 2017. He ran a 4.23. His personal best at his pro day. He's supposed to be a gunner right now. He's on the not the IR, but what's the one where they put you on before training camp, they can bring you back sort of anytime type of one.
Pup
So he's hurt.
Pup list.
Yeah, the pup list. Yeah, so he's on the pup list, and I feel like I'm missing a guy, but maybe not. Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, so that was kind of like what they did the whole day. You know, all of after day 2, day 3 was all special teams guys. Some of those guys aren't going to make the team, but to sort of round out your question, you know, to finish up very quickly, it's bringing everybody back and Giovard Bernard, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Do anybody on this panel disagree with what Ren said about the Bucks getting better?
I don't think you can disagree. I mean, until right now, they're the top dog in the division.
Right.
They're returning everybody. Tom Brady has got the fountain of youth hidden somewhere in his closet, I assume.
Bro, pause.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the offensive line, man. They got a good offensive line. They
Yeah.
designed the plays so well for Brady, and then you cannot forget my boy Todd Bowles and that dominant defense. that
Hey,
they
not
had
at
down
all. That whole team is loaded. And Mike Evans and Gronk and Antonio Brown came there, man. Like, the fact that they brought everyone back, you know, the Saints have been big dogging everyone for the past 4 years, and it feels like the tables have turned, and it's up to the Bucks until somebody proves it otherwise. So, yeah, I can't really agree with too much what Ren said.
All right,
The
TJ.
end.
What about you?
I know they won the Super Bowl, and you know, congratulations to them. But it's not like they just actually just ran roughshod through the division. You know, like
True.
they struck lightning in a bottle like right after week 9. You know, that's when the light came on.
Yeah,
That's
after our
when the
bye week.
Yeah, that's when the chemistry started to get together.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be quite honest with you, man. Like, I think the media really helped out the Bucks in a tremendous way. Talking about them every single week, you know, hyping them up only for them to watch them fall, like in some of those bigger games, those high-profile games.
Chicago,
But it's different.
Saints,
Like,
you guys.
it is different when, you know, nobody expect you to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody see you coming. But the fact that you're the champions, like, you about to get every single person's best shot. And a lot of those games last season, you know, especially like in the second half, it took some second half heroics, you know, in order for them to try to get over that hump. I remember when they played the Falcons. I mean, in the first half, you know,
Bruh,
Falcons were lighting them up.
Let me tell you.
I
Yeah, we
mean,
was.
We
But
got
let me tell
17-0.
Our
Yeah, but
dog
go ahead.
off.
I don't know what happened, man. No, I'm just saying, you know, I'm just looking at it from, look, any team could get hot in the playoffs is what I'm saying. Like, think about back in, what was that, 2007, I want to say? Was that, you know what I'm saying, that when the New York Giants,
yeah,
when, you know what I'm saying, the New York Giants played the New England Patriots week 17. That's when the Patriots won all the games. They went undefeated, right? But the Giants, I mean, they backpedaled into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They had to go on the road every single game in the playoffs in order for them to get to the Super Bowl, and they won. So sometimes you can strike lightning in a bottle, and it's easy for us to say that now, like, oh, they're the champions, and that it's the end of story. But look, anybody can get hot at any time, but this team has to prove that they can actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Now that everybody's looking at them, and it's not going to be a shock to anybody that they're good. Everybody thinks you are good. You are the champions. Everybody is going to put themselves up against you. So they're going to get everybody's best shot. We're going to see who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really are.
Yeah. And I, you know, far as you mentioned, Ren, about the special teams, that was like y'all only weakness, to be honest.
Yeah.
Y'all got a solid, good run game. Hopefully, Leonard Fournette can stay healthy. You just, you know, keep bolstering up the offensive line for Brady, and add a little pieces here and there on your defense. But that special teams unit, that was the weakest link, and y'all got Keith Armstrong as y'all special teams coach, which tells you everything. But because I know everything, we know Keith Armstrong here in Atlanta,
right?
And our offensive, our special teams unit was god awful. It's been god awful since Allen Robinson left.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wasn't particularly, I guess, impressed by Keith Armstrong or the way his special teams played out there on the field. Obviously, like they were last in the league in one key statistic. So, but that's what they're going for. It's he's a friend of BA, and the rest of the coaching staff is tier one, and it's the biggest coaching staff in the league, and the Glazers let him do it. They run 2 practices at once on 2 different fields, and Bruce Arians had his formula, sort of had his dream scenario. The Glazers said yes, and it just all sort of fell into place.
Right.
Year one with when Jameis threw 30 picks, you just can't win football games that way. And then Tom Brady just sort of fell in your lap. I mean, who would ever have thought, a month before, Tom Brady showed up that he was coming here or even leaving New England. And then Gronk showed up. It was just like a perfect storm.
Y'all got Leonard Fournette, and then y'all drafted the best lineman in the draft.
Yeah,
We
just
ain't just Brady. Y'all actually improved the offense.
Yeah,
and
the offense struggled early, man. There were some games we were lucky to win. The Chargers game, we were lucky to win that game early on. Then we had in the middle, we had a nice little streak, with the Raiders. But the Saints beat the crap out of us twice and embarrassed the hell out of us on prime time. Then the following week, the Chiefs did too, at least for the first half. And then the bye week sort of huddled around, and what I saw was the coaching staff said, okay, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to do everything we can to keep Brady standing up, which means keeping Gronk in a lot more, help out Donovan Smith, the left tackle. Not every play, but a lot more than he was. And the second thing was Todd Bowles finally decided to, instead of playing 1 high, play 2 deep and play mesh man underneath and don't let anything over the top of your head. And as soon as they started that, with Devin White and Levante David's speed in there to be able to cover those, those windows, the second and third windows crossing, it all just sort of came together. And yeah, like TJ said, we got hot. And and the offense started to improve more and more and more. They scored, they averaged over 30 points in the playoffs, and then the defense came alive. And Devin White turned into Ray Lewis for 3 games, and they raised a trophy, and we're all going, "What the hell just happened?" We did. It was what just happened?
Yeah. Well, hey, like we said, y'all struck lightning in the bottle, and we all had chances. This whole division had chances to strike lightning in the bottle. 2016, Falcons, we tried it. The Panthers, the year before that, 2015, Cam Newton, his MVP season. And, the Saints, the past 3 years, being good and, trying to, capture that second Super Bowl for Drew Brees, but, couldn't get there. So, y'all pretty much, y'all got the job done.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking, ending Drew Brees' career on an interception at home in the Superdome.
That
that was terrible.
That's going to segue into TJ.
Hold on. So we ain't fit to do this. We not about to do this. We ain't fit to sit here and get this man all that credit. I'm not going to get me wrong. They did fine. That's fine. We literally gave y'all 2 games.
You gave everybody games.
Yeah, we know that. We gave y'all 2 games. I'm right here. I got to sit here and watch this man literally have the same pose that he had in Super Bowl 51 at halftime. He's sitting on the bench with his head down, and he down 3 to 4 doggone scores. And what he do needs a comeback because my coaching staff want to be complete idiots. I don't understand I don't understand what the problem was. All you had to do is continue to do it the first half. Blitz this man. Put pressure on this man. Do something. You went right back to the cover 3 scheme that has not been working for God knows how long. And next thing you know, you're in the worst part of that game, especially the first matchup. The worst part is that you got an undrafted rookie guarding Antonio Brown on the field. This man here, don't get me wrong, this man is a walking stage 4 cancer, but yeah, I'm not going to disrespect him and have an undrafted rookie guarding him one-on-one. That's barbecue chicken. What we doing here? No. Now the Bucks, y'all won a Super Bowl. I'm happy for that.
I gotta say this though, man, because of what you just said. Look how many times the Falcons, the Saints, and the Panthers had the opportunity to get that lightning in a bottle. But guess what? We didn't do it. None of our teams do it. The Buccaneers did it, man. So that's why I said earlier, like, look, we can say they struck lightning in the bottle, they did this, they did that. But at the end of the day, the Bucs brought it home. Like, they proved what all these other NFC South teams have not
Wait a
done.
minute. Hold on, because
not done recently, man. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the Panthers and the Saints and the Falcons can trash talk each other. But right now, until proven otherwise, like, we're all trying to topple the big dogs in the division. I don't want that to be true.
we had it. We had it. We had it. The Falcons literally had it. We went on a 5-game win streak to end the season and going to the postseason, winning several games, and all of a sudden we. Sorry, I got something in my throat because my doggone offensive coordinator didn't know how to doggone run a football at the right time. That's what. I'm sorry. I still got something caught in my throat because my offensive coordinator don't know how to run the football when he should.
No, Dirk Cutter never runs
the
football.
Yeah, he don't. All right, so let's segue into TJ. All right, TJ, your turn to speak. And I know you've been holding back. So how did your team get better this offseason? We know y'all won a division. Drew Brees, he rode off in the sunset. Y'all, Dan Campbell, I'm pretty sure he was a good coach, for y'all staff, but y'all lost him to the Detroit Lions. But how did y'all get better?
Well, I think that when Aaron Glenn left, they acquired Chris Richard as the secondary coach. I mean, the Saints over the last couple of years have been having issues in the secondary, and actually having somebody like Chris Richard to come in who has had success in both places. He's been with the Seattle Seahawks, being one of those guys that was one of the coaches with the Legion of Boom alone with Dan Quinn, and also just with the Dallas Cowboys, man. He had their defense looking real good. I mean, a lot of people was giving like Rod Marinelli like credit for that, but man, Chris Richard like really had the defense looking pretty good. I mean, you look at Jalen, Jalen Jones and Lathan Van Der Esch, those guys since Chris Richard left. I mean, those guys are mere shells of themselves. So I think that it would be a plus for that. I mean, the Saints, they're retooling right now. I mean, when you lose a guy like Drew Brees for the last 15 years, I mean, he's been a face of the franchise, and it's hard to replace that. So there's a lot of uncertainty with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, of course, Michael Thomas waiting too long to get that surgery. Everybody's talking about. Just found out Deontay Harris most likely going to have to serve a suspension. Then you have David Onyemata, the defensive tackle of the New Orleans Saints. He's serving a 6-game suspension. So, I mean, the Saints are going to have to find some ways in order for them to try to win some games. But the best thing that the Saints have going for them is the coaching staff. The Saints have one of the best coaching staffs in the division. And as far as the division is concerned, man, look, I'm not one of those individuals that, we won a division. Look, I can care less about the division. Either one of y'all can have the division. I can care less. I care about them actually going to the playoffs and actually seeing it through. That's all I care about, because I'm as a fan, I'm sick and tired of watching this team like win all these games in the regular season only to choke in the postseason. It's absolutely pathetic. So me personally, I mean, I don't care about the division anymore. I mean, look, we done won the division on countless occasions, and what did it got us? We was the number 1 seed, was the number 2 seed, was the number 3 seed, home, away, you know what I'm saying? Here, there, everywhere, we lose. So I just want to see these guys actually perform in the playoffs. I can't say how the Saints have gotten better. I just know that, they're going to be a solid football team. They still got some good, talented players on the team. But, look, I'm not one of those Saints fans that sit up here and, it just would have happened. Nah, man, this was a good football team. We blew it on, several occasions. We won a division. Look, I got a T-shirt. I'm pretty sure people that's, Saints fans got a T-shirt. It's good, man. But I'm going to tell you something. After you wash a T-shirt in a washer a couple times, it starts to fade, right? But that Lombardi going to always shine. So that's all I care about. Unless the Saints make it all the way to the, NFC Championship game, go to the Super Bowl, I can care less about the division. So I don't know if they got better, but I still think they're a playoff team.
Y'all should hate the color purple, though.
Why?
Minnesota.
Sideline.
Nah, I don't look.
Touchdown.
I don't hate. Look, I mean, I don't hate the Minnesota Vikings. I don't like they. Look, Mike Zimmer and Sean Payton are really good friends, and they've been on the coaching staff together. And one thing that you can say about them is that they know, what I'm saying, they got each other number. I mean, just like on Christmas, on Christmas Day, Alvin Kamara ran for 6 touchdowns in that game. So, I mean, to me personally, it really, it really don't matter. The only thing that I care about is actually winning the division. I mean, not winning. I mean, going all the way through the playoffs. I don't care about the division anymore. Y'all can have it. Those were teams that have been struggling over the last couple of years, like the Falcons and the Panthers. We don't care about that anymore. Y'all win the division. Y'all probably happy. I win the division.
How you don't want to win the division, and that's what y'all best at doing, bro. That's what y'all best at doing. That's winning the division.
Nah. What we're best at doing is actually beating each and every one of y'all. Period. Now the Bucks won the Super Bowl, yeah, but at the same time, we've been waxing the Falcons, right? The Falcons, we have beaten them 6 over the last 7 times. The Carolina Panthers, I mean, come on, man. Like, let's just be serious about this. Y'all don't have a snowball chance in hell. Like, y'all basically playing money ball right now.
It had to be the Saints fan to get it started.
I'm trying to figure out why we bring up old dudes.
It had to be the Saints fan to get it started.
We're talking
We
about
ain't got the same coaching staff no more.
But did y'all not get swept by the Saints? Did the Saints not sweep this entire division in the regular season? Yes or no?
Yeah, y'all did.
Okay,
enough said. Credit on that.
All right, enough said.
But you kind of when you said you don't care about winning the division, you kind of contradict yourself saying
I'm not.
I don't care about but we beat everybody in the division. Like
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, he really did just say that. He said that we don't care about the division, but we gonna brag about beating everybody in the division.
Wait.
That's two different things. That's two different things.
There was a tweet. There was a tweet making the rounds on Twitter today, and it said, "Welcome to Saints training camp. Quarterback 1 retired. Wide receiver 1 is hurt. Wide receiver 3 is probably suspended. Tight end 1 and 2 are gone. Defensive tackle 1 is suspended. Defensive tackle 2 and 3 are gone. CB1 might get suspended. CB2 is gone, and we don't have a kicker, but we have 2 punters."
Wow.
I'm saying if there's any year the Saints are going to slip, it's going to be this one.
My question is, my question real quick.
Saints got the best organization among every level.
And I give y'all credit on. I give y'all credit on that. I give you credit on that. Y'all got the coaching staff and y'all got a good front office. Hell, I can't sit here and lie on that. We just got one of y'all assistants to be y'all general manager. So I can't sit here and
not to mention y'all tried to pilfer the accountant from the New Orleans Saints and Kyle Harley too. Let's not forget that too. Let's not forget that. And also with the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the offensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers wasn't he on the coaching staff of the New Orleans Saints? And isn't the Carolina Panthers actually running the same type of offense that the New Orleans Saints have been running over the last couple of years? And isn't that the reason why they decided to get Teddy Bridgewater as the starting quarterback last season? So as far as I'm concerned,
but what that means,
like the Saints are Cheers, right? Some of my people know what Cheers is, right? The rest of y'all are Frazier, all right? If y'all know what I'm talking about, Frazier used to come into the bar on Cheers, and then he got his own show. So the Saints are the main show. The rest of y'all a bunch of spin-offs.
But which show is better though?
Frazier clearly is better.
Frazier
but
is
my
far
thing.
more better than Cheers.
Cheers. But okay,
who had more seasons? Who had more seasons?
Who starting as y'all QB? The Swiss Army knife or Kroger's?
Okay.
You know what? Here it is. It really don't matter because what did this do?
Yes, the quarterback
Taysom
position
Hill
is irrelevant in the NFL.
The Saints with Taysom Hill went 3-1 last season. With Teddy Bridgewater, they went 5-0. When Luke McCown was the quarterback, they was about to win that game. He threw for 300 yards. That is the reason why I'm telling each and every one of y'all. You look, the Saints are a better organization than all of y'all. If you don't believe me, when Christian McCaffrey went down, what did the Carolina Panthers do? When Julio Jones went down, what did the Falcons do?
No. I'm
being serious. What other team would go
We
through
lost
this type
games
of
with
adversity.
Julio. We lost games with Julio played. Julio was not the main factor why we won or lost.
Let's eliminate Julio. Janoris Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore both missed the game, and the Saints still won. Michael Thomas was out 9 games last season, and the Saints still won 12 games. Drew Brees missed 4 games, and the Saints still won the division.
Because it's called good coaching.
Missed 2 games. Coaching. Exactly. So what's
it's called good coaching? We not disagreeing with that.
Nobody in this division could weather the storm the way the New Orleans Saints have. So that's what I'm saying.
Except for the team that won the Super Bowl last year, bro.
That don't mean nothing. So you telling me? So you telling me? Wait. So you're telling me? So you telling me? Wait a minute now. So you're telling me that the New York Giants were a better football team than an undefeated New England Patriots team?
It don't matter. They got the chip.
Nah, I ain't trying to hear it.
Don't matter. No, they got the chip. That's the only thing that matters, bro.
This is when the media force feed. This is the type of stuff media people tell you. Because if that is reality, that means that Joe Flacco is a better quarterback than Dan Marino because he ever actually have a Super Bowl.
No, come on, man. No,
I'm just saying. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, people make it seem like championships tell the entire story. It does not. It don't. Any team can get hot in the playoffs, go to the playoffs and win. That does not mean that they're a better team.
Can I be honest about that? The Patriots in 07 really, and I do mean really, skated because they went through. Not only that, but they hold on. Listen to me. They went through a 3-game stretch where they played some shown up top tier defense. They saw Pittsburgh, they saw Baltimore, and they saw Philadelphia. And I mean, Brady struggled those 3 games. They was fortunate to get out of those games with wins.
But they won. But
they win. Now with the Giants part, I understand most people say if you play that game, 10 out of 10, that was that 9 times out of 10 situation where the Giants get a win out the ordeal. But people forget they played the Giants the very last game of the season. They only beat them 38-35. So like the Giants losing to the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl really wasn't far-fetched. The Giants actually gave them the best chance. They were probably the best team to actually give them the opportunity to beat them in the Super Bowl because the Giants played them the toughest.
And they had a good defense. And hold on, TJ, let me tell you something. You want to know the real reason why the Bucks beat the Saints in the playoffs? You go back and you look at the numbers. You go back and look at DVOA Football Outsiders. Who had a better defense, the Bucks or the Saints?
The Bucks.
Y'all had a top 10 defense. Y'all was I think y'all was ranked 7th at the time.
In certain positions.
But the Bucks was a top 5. They had I think y'all was ranked 3rd or 4th.
Depends on what you look at.
Yeah.
At the end of the year,
y'all was top 5. Y'all was in the top 5.
Yeah, we were 5. By the end of the year, we were 5 in DVOA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy, you're going to have to jump in, man. I came here to defend the Panthers, not the Saints, man.
I know. You're defending the Bucks for me. I mean, I don't know. Look, TJ is a passionate guy. Half the stuff he says is just, it doesn't make any sense. He contradicts himself like every other sentence. Like he says, the Panthers are running the Saints offense for the past 2 years. The Saints offense is, we got to throw the ball 20 yards down the field. We got to bring Taysom Hill in to do it because Drew Brees can't do it. That's been the Saints offense. I mean, the guy was throwing punts on national TV when he played last year. Look, you know why the Saints weathered the storm in the past couple years? Because their roster was elite and their coaching staff was awesome. You know what's not elite anymore? Your roster. You guys kicked the can. You guys kicked the can down the road, and now you're paying for it. That's it. It's going to be, like you said, it's going to be a rebuilding year. And you want to, you can sit here and talk about this and that, and we've owned the division you have. But right now, Breeze is gone. You're still paying him lots of money, and it's time to pay the piper.
What are you talking about, dude?
Cody just talked about the tweet about all the guys you lost. At one point during the year, you had 20 guys on your roster, and we're still dumping people.
What is this dude talking about, man? Where y'all find these talking heads from?
Okay.
This dude talking mellow tone, and he's doing his great Doug Gottlieb impression. Dude, miss me with that, dog. If the Saints were not a really good team,
they were a really good team. Now it's over.
Okay.
Because
why
it's
do you say
over.
it is? What do you say?
Because
Why?
you don't have a quarterback, you don't have corners anymore. Your interior defensive line now
Have you
sucks.
seen them play? Have you seen them play?
The guys that
Have
started are
you
not there.
seen them
Okay.
play? Have you seen them play? Yes or no? So
All right,
what
Have
go
you
back.
seen them
Let me
play?
No,
let me
have
go
you
back.
seen
Let
them?
me-
Have
Yeah,
you
I
seen
have.
them play,
I
TJ?
have. I have,
Where?
and
What?
I've seen his
What?
coaching
When?
staff, and I've seen his
When?
coaching
How
staff.
could you see these guys play?
Over the last 4 years, I've seen this team play.
Those
Have you
guys are
seen
all
them play?
gone. I'm talking about the guys that
We talking
left
about
and
we
the
talking
guys
about
that
the
are trying to
upcoming
replace
season.
them.
We not
So
going
they
off
don't have
what
core
happened
players?
last year.
So they still don't have core players. I can't
All
go.
right.
All I can
Not
go
as
off
many
is what
as you-
happened
not
last
as-
season.
Okay.
All I
listen,
can go
listen,
off
listen.
what happened last season.
Hold on.
What are you
All right,
talking about?
All right, listen. So
Man,
here's
y'all
the thing.
boys
Here's the
tripping,
thing.
man.
Here's the thing, TJ. Here's the thing.
Man,
You
y'all
mentioned
tripping.
that Joe Brady was running the same offense. You do realize that most teams in the NFL they replicate the same offenses, right?
Yeah, West
Not
Coast style
Everybody
offense.
like the West Coast offense. Is
Yeah.
so many variations of it in the NFL.
But there's
Hell,
different.
that's West Coast offenses in
But
college football.
Okay, so running it to a point where in press conferences they said they basically know what's gonna come before it actually happened.
What?
So-
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
It don't matter, man. You know,
Okay.
what you say don't matter anyway.
Right.
Wow,
you-
the
you-
disrespect.
Like
TJ
it don't, man. Like I like authentic people. I don't like people that steal other people's style and say I don't know what I'm talking about.
The NFL, whoa.
Right.
The NFL ain't been nothing but a copycat league
Yeah,
since way
everybody been
back when.
copying
Like,
each other.
I'm not even talking about the
there's
NFL.
really.
I'm not even talking about the NFL right now. I'm just talking about what he said. Like
What?
it don't matter, man. Next question.
Oh.
All right, so let's hey y'all, let's stay respectful, all right? But yeah, I agree with you. Y'all do have an elite coaching staff. Y'all front office is immaculate. It's just y'all roster is, time will tell. Time will tell with that. So, all right, on to the Panthers. Y'all was ranked third in the division last year. Under y'all first year head coach Matt Rule. I think y'all had a good draft last year in 2020, and y'all played okay. The ceiling wasn't that high for you guys, and y'all coming into this 2021 season. But what did you guys do this offseason to get better?
Well, first things first, we got Teddy Bridgewater out the paint, bro. The
Yeah, that's gonna
Panthers had the ball in Teddy Bridgewater's hand at the end of the game with the game on the line 8 times. And Teddy Bridgewater failed to do anything about it. And anytime something went wrong, he put the blame on, we weren't practicing enough in the red zone, or, DJ ran the wrong route. And you got to understand, this is coming off of the same year where the Panthers got rid of Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly retired, Greg Olsen left the football team. This team went through a tremendous turnaround, and we haven't had the quarterback play to really elevate our offensive weapons for years now. DJ Moore has had to deal with hurt Cam Newton, Kyle Allen, and Teddy Bridgewater, and our offense has suffered dearly because of it. I think in the offseason, we did a ton to get better. On defense, we couldn't stop the run to save our life. So we got rid of Tahir Whitehead, brought in Denzel Perriman to play middle linebacker, and Hassan Reddick to come off the edge to bolster our pass rush. We feel fantastic going into this year about our defense, especially when you look at the players that we brought in free agency and in the draft, man. J.C. Horn, that's the defensive rookie of the year this year, bro. I'm calling my shot.
I'm calling that too.
J.C. Horn is a dog. And look, I'm pumped that the Falcons drafted Kyle Pitts, because I think that J.C. Horn versus Kyle Pitts, that's going to be must-see TV 2 times a year. I mean, and it was when South Carolina played Florida. So we're really excited about the upgrades that our defense has made. The real question is this: what is Sam Darnold? And as of right now, we're hoping.
Trash.
Hold on. There's a guy that covers Falcons football. He's a low-key Jets fan, but he said Sam Darnold is better than Matt Ryan.
We not. No.
Remember this conversation right here, though. Remember all of y'all
We're
laughing.
not
Remember,
doing that.
it's on video, bro. Because let me tell you what, the team that you're drafted to matters. Okay, so listen, Sam Darnold, I'm keeping the same energy for everyone. Sam Darnold has to go out there and prove it. I'm not sitting here and telling y'all that Sam Darnold is the quarterback of the future for the Panthers, because I don't know that. He might not be. He might end up sucking and be the same quarterback that was with the Jets. But what I do think is the kind of physical ceiling that he has is way more than Teddy Bridgewater or Kyle Allen. And we have the type of offensive coordinator and the type of weapons to get the best out of him. He's never had a DJ Moore. He's never had a Robbie, or he did have a Robbie Anderson. He's never had a Terrace Marshall. He's never had a Christian McCaffrey. So if there was any situation for Sam Darnold to be able to turn around his career, this is the year for him to do it, man. It's put up or shut up. And as of right now, I'm optimistic until I see evidence that I shouldn't be.
Yeah. All right, Damon. I think the Saints signing Brian Poole. I think that's a good signing. I think they need corners, and I think Poole for what he is, he's serviceable enough. You know, he's not gonna beat out Lattimore or anything like that. But
if y'all coaching staff puts him in the right position,
they will.
He can make plays, but like you said, y'all coaching staff is pretty good. So I could see y'all making sure he's not out his element or anything like that.
Dennis Allen is one of the best defensive coordinators in the game right now, so I know that they'll put him in the.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Dennis Allen is good.
He ain't the best.
I ain't saying he's the best, but he's good. He's
serviceable.
If I'm looking at the top tier defensive coordinators in the league right now, Dennis Allen is in the top 10. You cannot disagree with that.
That's not saying much, you know.
That
ain't saying much.
We've been looking for somebody that's been in the top 10. We ain't had a defense. I mean, a defensive minded person here in a minute,
bro. When you have prosperity, man, look, you ain't just looking at the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't out here shaking a cup on a corner. You know what I'm saying? So we want better. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like when you have success, you don't really care about, like, you want better. Like,
do you want Raheem Morris?
Nah, I want something better. I think I want to see the team elevate. That's what I want.
All right. So, Cody, so you just mentioned everything about the Panthers getting better. Like I said, I like the J.C. Horn pick. I thought if the Falcons was going to trade, back, in that 10th spot, I thought we was going to pick like a J.C. Horn type of player, but we didn't. We picked Kyle Pitts, which right now that helped us out because Julio, he dipped. So, but as far as y'all quarterback situation go, I'm never going to be sold on Sam Darnold. I'm just going to be real with you on that. I think y'all defense will play better this year. Do anybody disagree with what Cody said?
No, not at all. I mean, I'll go out on a limb here and I'm not trying to start anything, but I think the Panthers come in second place in the division.
Okay.
I do. I think Matt Rule knows how to turn around a program real fast. Yeah. They have concentrated almost all their draft picks on the defensive side of the ball the past 2 years. Everyone thinks that the Brady offensive coordinator is a gift from God. Teddy Bridgewater also wasn't a fit. And then, you got Darnold. We'll see. That's a huge, of course, question mark. But, they've got the running back in place. They've got the wide receivers in place. Their offensive line, the left tackle, they've been trying to solve for years. But like I know TJ's going to disagree, but the Saints roster just isn't what it was and has been the past 5 years. It's just not. Sean Payton's going to razzle dazzle and get you 2 or 3 more wins than any other coach would. But, I think it's going to be a struggle for the Saints to get 10 years. And the Falcons are starting over. I just don't see your defense really making a huge improvement. Losing Julio Jones, that can't be a plus. Yeah, I like Pitts, but again, it's a question mark. I don't think he's going to fail. He's probably like one of the most can't miss prospects that was drafted. But like just saying, "Oh, Kyle Pitts is going to tear up the league," you got to see it at least 1 year before you really believe it. So like I like the Panthers' chances, to come in second place. I really do.
And to piggyback on what Ren said too, Matt Rule, if you look at his time at the coach of Temple and Baylor, first year was always terrible, bad. Then that second year comes, and then things start to take off and they build. And that's why they paid Matt Rule all that money and gave him a 7-year contract that NFL owners were pissed off about everywhere, because they believe that Matt Rule is going to be able to build a culture of winning football. And, again, like, I find this funny, like with the Panthers and the Saints. Like the Panthers and the Saints have a very similar situation going on at quarterback. Like we're both hoping that a once upon a time top 5 draft pick can reclaim that former glory and live up to their expectations, because Jameis Winston hadn't done that. He still has to prove that. I know most fans don't believe that Taysom Hill is going to come up and be the starter. So Jameis Winston has to turn it on and really prove some stuff this year. And so does Sam Darnold. Like, Sam has a ton to prove, and that's why I'm not mad at any of y'all for saying, hell no, I don't believe in Sam Darnold. Why would I believe in Sam Darnold? He does have to prove it. I'm just of the mindset that Sam, he has the potential to really turn it on here in Carolina. And again, it's only day 2 of training camp right now, but all the early indicators are that he is throwing beautiful vertical passes down the field, making a really good connection with Terrace Marshall early on, the rookie out of LSU that we drafted in the 2nd round. We're building this team in the right direction, and I'm just excited about what the Panthers can do this year. I think we're going to have a top 5 defensive line or front 7, and I'll take that to the bank, bro.
It's possible. Defense. Y'all should have that. Now, if Sam Darnold plays well, and like Rand said, if they come second in the division, Joe Brady's going to be a head coach in 2022. I'm just calling it like it is now.
Okay, so look, I want y'all's opinion on this, bro. Me and that dude are the same age. We're both 31 years old. Okay, let's say, whatever. Let's say the Panthers have the best offensive season in the history of the NFL. Like, if you're the owner of an NFL franchise, are you hiring a 32-year-old to be your head coach?
Yeah.
Like, it don't matter if you proving yourself. If you proving yourself that you can run a team and your style of play, and you actually calling the plays.
Yeah, that might be a fan trying to talk themselves into like keeping Brady around a couple more years. They won't come get him. He's too young. No, he'll be here for another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be here 4 or 5 years. I just think I know he's eventually going to be gone. So we're going to have to prove, if Sam has a good year, he's going to have to prove that he can do it outside of the system that Joe Brady implemented. Yeah, 100%.
Now I'm about to ask you this question.
Yeah.
When y'all drafted J.C. Horn,
y'all
left 2 quarterbacks on the table. Justin Fields and
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones from Alabama.
Panthers and the Falcons decided to pass on Justin Fields.
Do the Falcons really need a quarterback? Come on now, no, we don't. Okay. All right, I've been telling people that we do not need a quarterback.
Shut up, I got it. All right, but you continue to talk.
So, now here's the thing. Y'all had Justin Fields on the table. So, are y'all cool with Sam Darnold, or do y'all wish y'all would have just drafted Justin Fields?
I mean, look. So, I scout college players for Draft Tech. I watch film. I try and do my best to, make my top 10. Follow me on Twitter and on Draft Tech. I loved J.C. Horn. That was the number 1 corner on my board. So, yeah, I love J.C. Horn. And I think that no matter what Justin Fields turns out to be, I think that we have a shutdown, defensive all-pro on our football team right now. So I love the J.C. Horn pick no matter what. With that said, yeah, I had Justin Fields ranked as my number 2 player on my top 100 big board. I really did. Knowing him and Trevor Lawrence and seeing what they've been able to do throughout their career, those two were the number 1 and 2 quarterbacks, from high school all the way up into college. But I don't know what you're laughing at, man. That's straight facts, bro. Justin Fields is a dominant quarterback, and I think
I'm laughing at the chat, dude. I'm laughing at the chat.
My bad. I'll jump back. But look, I'm just saying, like, Justin Fields, yeah, we're gonna have egg on our face if Sam Darnold just turns out to be terrible, and Justin Fields goes and balls out for Chicago. Dude, I don't want to hear about Matt Jones. I ain't trying to hear about Matt Jones.
Matt Jones going to a good system, so
I'm just happy that he's not. I'm just happy that he's not a Panther, because we would not have been able to build the kind of team around Matt Jones that would have benefited him, I think. So
yeah, I'm not. I disagree with you on the Justin Fields thing, and I'm not finna get into that rabbit hole because we had to deal with Justin Fields for like 4 months.
Yeah.
Here in Atlanta. And I was just so happy when we was at 4 and we heard Kyle Pitts' name being heard, and we was like, oh man, I was jumping for joy. But anyway, so all right, LaTravis. So Falcons, we know we seen it. These past few years have not been good under Dan Quinn, Thomas Dimitroff. We got them out of here. We know the main thing how we got better this offseason. Coaching staff. And hiring a good GM. You agree or disagree?
I agree, but I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with the Panthers fan because we probably gonna look like fools because Justin Fields, man, he was the best thing since last year it was invented. We got to trade. We should have traded Matt Ryan because he's old, even though he's just only 36 and Brady at 4,500. But Brady, Matt's 36 years old and he's old. He can't get the job done. We place the blame on everybody on the franchise, but the guy that's still consistently here. I don't know why we keep this man. This man, screw all that, dog. Like, no, our team. We definitely improved in what we have done. Bringing in Terry Fortunote, thank you, Saints. Thank you, TJ. We greatly appreciate that. Bringing in Arthur Smith. Now, here's what people don't understand about bringing in Arthur Smith and the coaching staff that we brought in. Like, the Falcons' biggest issue, literally since Matt Ryan been here, has been coaching. With Mike Smith, meaning he had a fire in him at first, and then somehow it died out. And then being that conservative situations, like we have a decent lead, and then next thing you want to quote unquote try to run the clock out, but then you don't got too conservative to the point that you done lost some of the tempo in your offense. Your defense still ain't really been that good, so you had that situation. Dan Quinn, oh my God, I don't even know what to give that guy. Like, this dude here, he had every slogan on the man. First of all, I'm gonna ask y'all as fans, even though if you blow a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, would you be happy that your coach would come up with a t-shirt slogan says "Embrace the suck"? I need honest answers.
I need more context, but with that, no.
That's the question. He came up with a slogan that says, after we blew a 28-3 lead, he said he came up with a slogan on a T-shirt that says "Embrace the suck." Would you be happy to have that your coach would come up with that?
Sucky feelings or the sucky thing that happened to us, like own it and
I mean, just in general.
Just like embrace that we suck.
I mean, what else was he supposed to do, man? Like, it was the worst loss in Super Bowl history. What else is he supposed to say to his team coming off of that? Like, there's nothing to say. There's nothing good to say after that. You just got to start over, man. I mean, I don't know about Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn was not a great coach from the jump. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they were supposed to say in that situation. Of course, coming off a 28-3, bro, that's going to suck no matter what. So, I don't know what he should have said in that scenario.
TJ?
Look, man, I think that it was just time. I'm interested to see what the Falcons gonna do. Like, seriously, man, I'm glad that y'all got those guys up out of there, man. Because to be quite honest with you, man, Arthur Blank really set y'all boys back, man. Really trying to hold on to the front office that y'all had. Not really putting the right pieces in place, not getting the right coaching staff, and hopefully these guys can come in, man, and change the culture. I mean, Terry Fontenot, I'm just rooting for him, man. He's a Louisiana guy, and brother of color. You know what I'm saying? I got to root for him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm interested to see, man. I mean, y'all got a lot of talent on the team and stuff like that, and hopefully y'all fix the issues, on the front line, be able to get pressure on the quarterback. I think that'll help y'all secondary out quite a bit.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Hopefully y'all put more emphasis on the running game also, man.
First thing Arthur Smith did when he became the head coach, he fired Chris. What's his last name? Chris Morgan was the offensive line coach from the previous regime. Got him out of here because Arthur Smith, he's an offensive line coach by trade.
Right.
All right. He knows about the trenches. All right. And we drafted 2 linemen. We drafted Drew Diamond and we drafted Jalen Mayfield from Michigan.
Good.
Who I like so much. And then we brought in Mike Davis, who's a former Panther. And then we kept Quadre Olison. Olison been on the doggone practice squad and did not participate. He was on the reserve list forever. We drafted this dude back in 2019, I believe.
19, and he was like a 4th or 5th round pick.
Yeah, he suited up for probably 3 games since he been here.
The last 3 games in 2019,
and that's it.
That's when he played. And the crazy part, we had a Pitt beat writer on the show, and he's like asking questions like, he asking questions like, why isn't he not getting touches? Like, has he been hurt? And like, we had to tell him like, no, he's just been on the list. And they look like, well, why y'all draft the guy and you're not giving no touches? He's actually a decent back. We saying the same thing, but apparently with Dan Quinn coaching staff, they didn't see it. He just was sitting on the bench. Now that he's been now with the new regime in, you've been hearing all type of great stories about this man. He's having a solid camp. He's doing this. He's doing that. So now, like, he's pretty much, from my understanding, from my view, he looked like he's going to be our number 2 back. But like, I mean, with the guys that we have, we have Mike Davis, who was solid for the Panthers last year. Quadre Olison, who really don't have no mileage on him at all because he barely played. Then you bring in Cordell Patterson, who's going to be like your gadget guy. And then, we have this undrafted rookie in, what is his name? Jalen Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken. I know his last name Hawkins.
From Louisville.
Yeah, from Louisville. Like that. He's a dynamite. He has, like, to me, he has a lot of Darren Sproles potential in him. But, like, with that being said, though, like I said, we have to be able to block up front to protect, not only just protect Matt, but you also have to open up running lanes. Like, I don't care what comes and goes. I don't care how great your QB are. A quarterback's best friend is a running game, no matter what the situation is. So hopefully with Arthur Smith bringing in, he's be able to like help our trenches grow and bring some continuity and like player development across the board on the offensive line. And of course, defensively, I love the Dean Pease hire.
Yes.
This guy here has done things with defenses that might not have the best names, but like, I mean, you can see the clear difference in the Titans in 2019 versus the Titans in 2020. Their defense was not the same defense that it was in 2019 when Dean Pease retired. And the fact that this man retired, but then when he heard that Arthur Smith took the job in Atlanta, like, people think that Arthur Smith called him. Oh, no, he called Arthur Smith and said, I want to coach with you in Atlanta. So for him to even take that consideration and then have his son to resign as a high school coach or wherever he was to come be his understudy in Atlanta, like, I feel like we are set up for a decent future and where we could be more competitive. The main thing I hate about football, and I don't care if it's the Falcons, it could be the Saints or whoever, I don't like stupid football. And especially in the last regime, that's what I had to endure the whole time. Stupid football. It didn't make sense. The play calls was atrocious, offensive and defensively. If you have something going swell for you in the first half, they went totally against it in the second half. Hence the comeback win again with the Buccaneers in week 15. Like, it made no sense. Like, even the Cowboys lost. Your special team coach literally told those guys not to touch the football, and then when he recovered the onside kick, everybody looking like, Well, I didn't expect that to happen. What you mean you didn't expect that to happen? The ball is rolling. If it goes 10 yards, the other team can recover. It was right there rolling in front of like several Falcon players and nobody jumped on it. Like everybody just looked at it like, wow, that's a pretty football right there. That's just rolling on the ground. Like that's stupid. That is just stupid. Like the Falcon coaching staff in especially the last 5 to 6 years has been absolutely utterly atrocious. And I'm just glad they're
It's just
gone.
like
I'm
with some
glad
of
we
the
have a new
Falcons, it's,
regime.
it's some of the Falcon fans too. Like they dumb stuff. Like we losing games against the Bears and the Cowboys. Oh, every day. Oh, it's Matt Ryan's fault. How? But
You
whatever.
give up a 10-point lead against the Cowboys in like less than 4 minutes, and the man didn't touch the field at all. How can you blame that loss on him? I don't understand it. Like I said, at least with y'all coaching staff in our division, at least they smart for the most part. They don't really do nothing. They may do some stuff that question it every now and then. Everybody have a brain fart here and there. But when you look at the Falcons, like if anybody ever invested in like NFL Game Pass and just do film study on the Falcons, you would literally get several games like why? Like the play calls just be like, why? Like, why would you run that play? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? And then when something goes wrong, the first thing, especially like offensively, if Matt throws a pick or throws in or nearly a pick, the first thing somebody says, hey, man, Matt Ryan, so he did this, that, and third. I'm looking like, but if you pay attention, the defense is sitting on this. They know this play is coming. You're not running on misdirections. Only thing you
Dirt
do is
Cutter,
line up and
Dirt
just go.
Cutter's play calling was so predictable, man. Even a middle school coach can figure him out.
I remember those
Even
days.
even Ren shaking his head. He know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot y'all did have Cutter as y'all coach in Tampa. Ooh, Jesus!
They fired Lovey Smith. They fired Lovey Smith
I'm
just to
glad about that.
just to bring Dirt Cutter as a head coach. Like why?
Before
Lovey Smith
y'all
was a
went on
good
y'all
coach.
run, before y'all went on y'all run, when y'all beat us in week 15, I watched several of y'all beat writers literally throw that win under the bus because they was like, we only won because the Falcons defense sucked and Dirk Cutter's their offensive coordinator. They like y'all beat writers was tweeting this. Like that's the only way they won. The Falcons had us beat. They had us. They didn't even believe in the Super Bowl chance because they were just looking like, dog. The Falcons had us done. We were dead to rights to them. But the fact that they have a horrific defense and their head and their offensive coordinator Dirk Cutter, which we all know by experience, he cannot call an offense to save his life. They like it probably was a shock to them that they actually won the Super Bowl because they was looking like we have no opportunity to win the Super Bowl. We get the playoffs and they even had themselves losing possibly to the Saints in the second round. But we see how that played out for everybody. So it went from there. But just like I said, with the Falcons, man, we just had our biggest issue has always been our coaching being stupid. Like we actually have been having the talent, but when you can't coach nobody or you can't groom a player or have player development, you're not gonna be successful. You're gonna always fall short or you're gonna always fall by the wayside because you're not doing what you're supposed to do in that area. And now TJ, I could kind of somewhat agree about the head coaching part because me personally, and I know y'all, I don't know how y'all might have felt about this, but I thought we should have hired Rex Ryan back in 15 before we took Dan Quinn. That was my thought. Now, I obviously say that because I watched Rex Ryan turn a middle of the pack defense in 2008 into the number one defense in the NFL in 2009. So I felt like if you could take a piss poor Falcons defense that's like ranked 28 to 32 in the NFL, and at least make us at least top 20, I could take that. Because I mean, of course, everybody was like, "Well, the offense he had was trash." Of course, he had Sanchez. Who gonna win with Sanchez? I don't understand that.
I
Like,
said this. I said this before. It's before we hired Dan Quinn because it was Quinn. I believe Rex Ryan got interviewed, and then we also interviewed Todd Bowles. We should have just went on. Like I said, I wanted Rex, but Rex wasn't. I kind of figured he wasn't gonna get the job, but they should have just went on and just hired Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles would have came in a better situation here in Atlanta than he did in New York. You had a good offense. You just had to work on the defense. That's it. And Todd Bowles is a way better defensive play caller than Dan Quinn. That's not an opinion. That's facts. Go look at the numbers. So y'all disagree with anything we said on how we got better? Yes, we drafted Kyle Pitts. Julio's gone. We know that. For what else? We got some good free agents in here. I like Fabian Moreau. I think he's going to be good for us. But other than that, do y'all disagree with what we said?
I don't really disagree too much, man. Like I feel like there's a lot. I feel the Panthers, the Saints, and the Falcons are question marks. Like that's one. Like I feel like any of these teams could really be anywhere, on the spectrum of, I know they added another game this year. So what, 2-15 to 15-2? Like I don't know. That there, it seems like every possibility is alive for all three of these teams. I don't know. I just think it's going to be tough for the Falcons to, one, lose Julio Jones. Two, you've got a brand new coaching staff. Like there's going to be some turnaround. I'm not even saying this as a Panther fan trash talking, man. Like I don't know if this is going to be the year for Atlanta, just because they've got so many moving parts that are new from last year. I'm just going to be interested to see how the Falcons look.
But here's my thing. Everybody keep talking about Julio Jones. Yes, he's a good wide receiver. But people forget how Matt Ryan played before Julio got here in 2011. He was Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2008. All right?
Made the Pro Bowl his third season.
Yes. Like people keep saying, well, Julio made Matt Ryan. That's false. That's false.
Yeah, I don't really think that, people are all talking. The reason people bring up Julio, in my opinion, is because, like, who'd you replace him with? That's when you take away someone who's good as Julio Jones, like, are you pointing to Kyle Pitts? Like, who did you replace him with on the wide receiver core? So I think that's where people sort of come after that thing. At least from, down here, it's not, when we talk about the Falcons, it's not that Matt Ryan sucks. Like, we all like Matt Ryan. We think he's a really good quarterback. But when you, like, it'd be like the Bucs missed, taking away Mike Evans, our receiving core. But like Thomas from the Saints, and you don't replace him with anybody. Okay, you replace him with one of these unicorn tight ends, but you're still kind of like, who, you still got to throw the ball to the outside. So I think that's where people kind of, fall when they bring up Julio Jones. It's like, there wasn't a high draft pick, or, there wasn't there's not this guy in the hopper, to replace him. Of course, Calvin Ridley's had his best year, and he's really coming out of his shell. But it's those two guys. One's gone. Who we replace him with? Who's stepping in the other guy's shoes?
I want to say hold on. You have Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley had over 1,000 yards this last year.
Yeah, great season.
Also, Russell Gage. Okay. Had over 800 yards last year. That boy is good. I love Russell Gage.
Really was second team All Pro too.
Yes, exactly. And then on top of that, you gotta hit once again. Arthur Smith. He loves to utilize his tight ends. You have Hayden Hurst and you have Kyle Pitts.
Oh, that's right. You guys got Hurst. I forgot about that.
So I'm gonna say this about Julio though. I understand how great Julio talent is. I really get it. But one thing I can tell any and everybody, I'm pretty sure y'all will agree to this: the greatest ability is availability.
Yeah.
So you can't be the number one guy and you on the sideline on third down and I got to rely on Russell Gage to get the first down for me. Like, that's not cool. I don't care what comes and goes. Like, if you're supposed to be our guy, you need to be on the field on crucial downs, not on the sideline with taking a sip of water, showing off your gold chain. Talk about, bad and bougie on the sideline with amigos. I don't care about none of that. Like, dude, play football.
Is it unreasonable to say that Kyle Pitts is probably y'all's number one receiver going into this year, even though he's tight end?
No, Calvin Ridley is.
I want to put that pressure on him. Kyle
Pitts has to prove himself. Everybody keep giving this man so much, attention. Like, he got to prove himself.
Yeah,
because we all know the talent is there. We all know the talent is there, but you ain't playing out one NFL down yet.
You ain't played a snap yet. Like, you have to prove yourself. And then not only that, Like the same, these Falcons fans, some of these Falcons fans, we drafted a guy named Frank Darby in the 6th round, all right, from Arizona State. Like he was hype, you know, dancing and singing and stuff. Oh, I'm ready to go to Atlanta and all this other stuff, and like everybody hyping this man up to be the next Julio Jones. I'm like, bro, he was drafted in the 6th round for a reason. Yes, I get it. There are gems in the later rounds. I get that, but let these boys play. Let's see what these guys got before y'all start like hyping these guys up. Like I just don't I don't like that. Let's see how these guys play their first year. If they make, you know, all rookie team or whatever, or they make a Pro Bowl appearance, or they just be serviceable enough to make our team better than what it was last year, then yes, I'll be the first person to eat my crow and say, yeah, y'all right. Y'all was right. I was wrong.
Calvin really got to prove he's the number 1 wide receiver?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. He already proved that he has the numbers.
Yeah, and you know, like you pointed out earlier, like it was. I always found it really weird. Like it'd be 3rd down and sort of, you know, a big moment of the game, and Calvin really was on the sidelines. Plus, he was hurt a lot last year, so Calvin was kind of like he was the number 1 guy a lot of the year. I thought he proved it last year, to me at least.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and end the show soon, and I know we said we don't care about divisions, but we all in this umbrella called the NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Atlanta Kid, I'm gonna go look at the picking a little bit, man. I've been kind of engaged, with the show. I'm gonna go look at it. Who's gonna win this division? I'm gonna start with you.
I don't know, but this Kimberly Watson woman is funny to me.
Hey y'all! Hey, if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, go subscribe to the channel, you guys. We on the road to 3K.
You know, I think it's the Bucs division to lose. Do I think that, you know? Do I like what the Panthers are putting together? Yeah. Am I afraid of the Saints coaching staff and some of their core players? Yes, but I still believe the roster is not as good now as it was last year. Am I afraid of Atlanta? Not really. Could we lose both games at Atlanta? Yeah, but we'd lose 56-52. And I just don't really kind of see that happening. So I think it's the Bucs division to lose. You know, of course Brady goes down, or maybe the young secondary is my, you know, biggest sort of. They were very up and down last year. Jamel Dean, Sean Murphy-Bunting, they all caught fire after the bye week. Carlton Davis is very underrated as a corner. But, you know, even though as great as all the accolades Devin White's getting, he couldn't cover anybody for the first 3 quarters of the year. Like I would say it on my podcast every week, like Devin White's a liability in coverage. He can't cover. He just didn't get it. Came back from COVID after missing the Washington game, and like it was like he took a crash course and aced it. It was a complete change. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen this year. So, you know, the young secondaries with Dean being up and down, Sean Murphy-Bunting being up and down in the slot, you know, that's what I worry about. So the defense that we saw at the end of the year through the playoff run going through, you know, Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes isn't necessarily the defense Buck fans are going to get week 1 versus Dallas. It's, you know, that's high. That was a high bar that they set there. But again, I think the Bucs are going to have to beat themselves, or some significant injuries to some key players, or maybe we get, you know, COVID runs through us and the NFL says we're not, you know, if you're out and you're forfeiting, something like that. But yeah, so I got the Bucs winning like, you know, 13 games, 12 games, like, you know, 11 minimum, but it's like a 12 and up for me. And then that's the fan talking, of course. But I think, you know, second place in the division, like you can win this division with 9 games, probably take 10, but you know, you go 9 and 9-8, like you can win this division, or you could come in second. So that's where I'm at.
Hey, for all the people who came in for the Saints, guys, no one's jumping on TJ, man. TJ is like a big brother to me, man. Y'all stop. Right.
Nah, I'm not concerned about that.
Like, everybody,
what we jumped on this man?
Like,
what we jumped on him?
Ain't nobody jumping on this man. Like we over here talking football, man. Look, we got different opinions. That's just how it is, and hey, we cool over here. So, all right, TJ, Who you think gonna win this division, man?
I mean, you got to give the nod to the Buccaneers. You know what I mean? They're the team that's solid. You know, like he mentioned. I mean, they ain't lose anybody. You know what I'm saying? They was able to bring like all those guys back. Like the only thing that concerns me about them is the fact that they are the Super Bowl champions. And like I said, I mean, they're going to get everybody's best shot. So you're going to have teams that don't have no business of being in a game with the Buccaneers going to be, going to be there in the end. So this is the year that's going to get them battle tested. I mean, as far as, I have to say I disagree about the Saints position. I just think that the Saints have a really good coaching staff. I think that they're going to be there. I mean, the thing that gives me optimism about them is the fact that, the Saints, they never just really just get blew out of games. You know what I'm saying? Like they lose, but it like always like be like right in the thick of things. So that comes from having a really good coaching staff. They make really good second half adjustments. And I think as long as they can continue to do that, they'll be just fine. And like I said at the beginning, man, I mean, this isn't about winning the division. Because like I said, the division to me as a Saints fan don't really mean much. You know what I'm saying? Especially since they've had like year after year of disappointment. I just want to see them make the playoffs. That's all, man.
Yeah.
They make playoffs, make a run. If you just so happen to lose, just lose to a team that's just better than you, okay? Not you just look like world beaters the entire regular season, and then all of a sudden like look like the Jaguars last year when it count. Like I just would like to see these guys actually make a run at it and live up to that potential. But I mean, I'm just being a realist. I got the Buccaneers winning this division. I think you have to give the notch and the respect of being the champions, and they do have arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, regardless of if anybody agrees with that or not. I mean, you got to give him his respect. I mean, 7 Super Bowl championships. I mean, you can talk about Spygate, Deflategate, this gate, that gate. He came to a team that wasn't really known for winning, and he turned those guys into believers and turned them into champions in the process. So I give him the credit.
All right. So, all right, go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, man. So, look, Ren, I think it's going to be me and your team battling for the top of this division. I really think that. I think, and this is not just shade, man. I think that the Panthers had a jump start on their rebuild. So for that reason, I think the Panthers going into this year have a jump start on the Falcons and the Saints. I think that this defense is going to have the whole NFL talking. And I really mean that. I think this front seven for the Carolina Panthers, Brian Burns and Derek Brown, are about to be household names. I really mean that. And we got this 5th round guy that we drafted out of Iowa called Davian Nixon, who's already making waves. Apparently, he was a beast in that legendary Iowa weight room. So I'm pumped, man. And especially if J.C. Horn is who I think he is, I think this defense is going to be absolutely ferocious. And I think it'll give Sam Darnold a little bit of leeway if he doesn't have the hot start that everybody is wanting for him to have. I think this is the defense that's going to complement him. So I see this Panthers team as a 10 or 11 win team or more. And I really do think that I'll give the Bucks the nod right now just because, hey, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Exactly.
Right now, they're the man in the division. But I think it's going to be damn competitive at the end of this season between the Panthers and the Bucks.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing, Don?
Quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. I have to say, man, the Carolina Panthers over the last couple of years, they probably had like some of the best drafts I've ever seen. Like,
I
agree. Like the
I
fact
agree.
that last year they drafted all defensive players, and then this season, like if you can't say one thing about them, you got to say that they did a hell of a job in the draft over the last couple of years. So
they trade down like 47 times this year.
Thank you, man. I'm loving our new general manager, Scott Fitterer, for the first time in our history. He traded down a record number of times and got back all the picks that we traded for Darnold. Got them all back, and we end up getting a ton of really good players that Panther fans are buzzing about. I think Terrace Marshall has a similar trajectory to what Justin Jefferson did last year with the Vikings. I think he has that kind of talent. So
he
I'm pumped. I believe in this football team, and I'm an optimist about Sam Darnold. He's still got to prove it, like I said, but I think Sam Darnold's really going to surprise some people this year.
All right. So let's get to. All right. I want everybody to look at this. Let's go back to like I say 2014, 2013, 15. All right. This division was known as the quarterback division. All right, at one point. You know, we talked about guys like Jameis Winston when he got drafted, you know, and they made the comment of Matt Ryan was the fourth best quarterback in the division. You had Drew Brees still playing. You had Cam Newton, who was the reigning MVP at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at this division now. Brees is gone. Cam is in New England.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan is still the constant here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tom Brady went from the AFC to the NFC in Tampa Bay. This division, I'm going to say, is no longer called the quarterback division. This division is going to be the defensive division. And let me tell you why.
I was just thinking that.
Let me tell you why. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defending champions. All right, they still going to field a top 5 defense just by having Todd Bowles on their staff. All right, that's not going to change. The Saints, like I said, they still going to be a top 10 defensive unit just by having Dennis Allen. They still have, you know, key players on their staff, on their roster. The Panthers, that defensive line is young and hungry. They're gonna be above average. I don't know where to rank them at this time, but I feel like if I had to, I'll put them outside of the top 10. They could very well be the come on, King. Matt Ryan not the second best quarterback in the division. Stop. All right.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Unless you're gonna put him third, then okay.
No.
You're gonna put Matt Ryan above Tom Brady.
Based on longevity, I'll give him that. Like if we count what Brady did in the AFC East, yeah, because I mean you got to give him the respect because he's been doing it the longest, right?
12 division titles in a row.
You put Brady on the team that don't have an offensive line and a defense and see how he play.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Brady really had been skating for like nearly a decade, especially in the NFC East. That division was horrific. Like, I mean, you saw games where they won like game. They went game straight where this man didn't perform well. Like, but I mean, like I said, I digress.
Hold on. You threw 3 picks in the NFC Championship game. You still won. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of your defense. Because of the Tampa Bay defense held off Aaron Rodgers and company.
I will say this though. I will say this though. This is one play you have to give this dude credit, right? It was a play, I think it was 3rd down, and I think the play was supposed to go to Mike Evans, and Mike Evans ended up getting like covered, and he just completely just threw the ball like in a completely different direction, like almost to the back of the end zone, and then Ryan Sucker came in for a field goal. I'm gonna let you know right now. Like people talk about veteran quarterbacks, and in certain situational football, you need that seasoned veteran to do smart things like that. Like anybody else, if that play was going to Mike Evans, they would have tried to fit in into Mike Evans. Like Jameis would have probably tried to put that ball there.
I know what play you're talking about. I know what play you're talking about, and I agree with you on that. But at the same time, if you have a defense that's gonna back you up, and then you have a coaching staff that's gonna put you in that position to continue to win games, like you have nothing to worry about. Like Matt Ryan cannot sit up here and say that he had an average defense or had a coaching staff that made the in-game adjustments for us to continue to win. He never had the opportunity. Never.
In-game adjustments or know how to play or know how to call plays in situational football.
Exactly.
Fellas, I completely understand that, but I'm just saying, okay, think about those interceptions. They had 2 of them went to Jair Alexander. Both of them were deep passes. So basically, we're just borderline punts. And the way their defense was actually playing, like Tom Brady understood they would have to drive the entire field. So they weren't given an inch. So I'm telling you, like, there's like certain plays when you have a veteran quarterback.
My point, you just hold on, go back. My point about the Tampa Bay defense.
Yeah,
they
but
know
I'm saying,
he knew he had a defense
though.
that's gonna back him up. So Brady can go out there and make those mistakes, and he know it's not gonna cost him. Matt Ryan, he know he can't make a mistake. If Matt Ryan make one mistake, that's his ass. And sometimes he play mistake-free football all the time and still lose.
And TJ, you experienced that from him already once back in 2018. The man played mistake-free football through 5 TDs against your defense, and we still lost.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not going to happen every single week, though.
That what we saying.
Well, I want to ask a question to everybody real quick. I know we're about to get out of here, but I want to ask a question to everybody real quick. Like, to me, Matt Ryan and Tom Brady are very similar quarterbacks. Like, aren't they both system quarterbacks? Like, Matt
Ryan is not a system quarterback. What system we got here? This man had a revolving door offense coordinators.
When have either of these dudes carried a worthless, pathetic team deep into the playoffs?
Matt Ryan, Super Bowl
2016.
Really?
Yeah. Nah, come on.
That team was pathetic?
Come on.
You're going to tell me Matt Ryan was the only good thing about that
he won MVP. And we had a let me
say this because I know everybody get blind about all the points we put up and everything. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Our offensive line was not good that year. It was not. The reason why it seemed decent, they pretty much forced Shanahan to like get the ball out of Matt's hands quicker. They had to go in the office and tell him to get the ball out of Matt's hands because Shanahan was doing that craziness by doing lone developing plays or let's just throw the ball to Julio. Like that made no sense. So that would eventually, with that being said though, like we pretty much basically almost had the same old line like the very next year.
This man
but he still got
touchdowns to 13 different people. Like,
but with that being said, like the line played like it tremendously dropped because you brought in a rookie offensive coordinator from out of Alabama and Sarkisian, and you see, like I said, even in the Super Bowl year, Matt still got hit a lot. He just, like I said, he's just fortunate that he got the ball out of his hands quick enough before he actually took a shot. I mean, and like I said, Shanahan play calling was phenomenal and whatnot, and that would help the situation. Defensively, bro, we was literally 28th in scoring that year. Exactly. We broke an NFL record that season, like winning 6 football games with our defense giving up 28 points or more. Hence, people like talk about that famous 300-yard game by Julio Jones. Phenomenal game for Matt. Phenomenal game for Julio. But people forget that we was up in the beginning of the quarter. The score was like 34 to, I think I'm gonna say like 30, 31, 34 to like 14. Cam went downfield, scored a touchdown. But on the 2-point conversion, we knocked about the game with a concussion. But then Derek Anderson came in and scored 2 more touchdowns. When we blinked again late in the fourth quarter, they're only down 8 points. So, like, that's type of stuff, like don't get me wrong. Of course, 23 happened. It was unfortunate. But if you pay attention to that season, we've been playing with fire that whole year. We've been doing that. That wasn't just like no situation that just happened out of nowhere. We've been doing it. We actually lost the game having a big lead against the Chargers that season. We had a big lead against them, and they came and walked us down. So, like I said,
let me. It seems like y'all trying to make a case to try to make it seem like people like downing Matt Ryan for being a bad quarterback. Dude, not a bad quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like
the only people that hate Matt Ryan are Falcons fans.
Oh, but okay,
I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he up there.
Hey TJ, you just don't understand, man. In this fan base right here, man, we done seen people say crazy stuff like, "Oh man, we need to," because we signed Felipe Franks, the former quarterback used to play for the Gators in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. He's on our team now, and people talking, "Oh man, we need to go ahead and play Felipe Franks over Matt Ryan," and I'm like. See, this is why we can't have football conversations with every common Falcons fan, because of comments and posts and tweets like that.
That's why I started a podcast. I couldn't talk
Exactly.
to cars anymore. It was just, I couldn't do it.
I want to say one thing, and then I promise I'm done. I think if you put Matt Ryan, or let's do it this way: if you put Cam Newton on the 2016 Atlanta Falcons, Cam is still an MVP. Matt Ryan is not an MVP on the 2015 Carolina Panthers. If anybody thinks that Matt Ryan could take Ted Ginn and Jericho Codais to the Super Bowl, bro, nobody can do what Cam.
Bro, he took. Stop. He took Mohamed Sanu. Hold on. Stop. He took Mohamed Sanu, Taylor. Mohamed Sanu, Taylor Gabriel. These guys, Austin Hooper. These guys was nobodies before they came to the Falcons, and he took them to the Super Bowl. If you put Matt Ryan on that 2015 Carolina Panthers team, not only he'll win the MVP, but I bet y'all have a Super Bowl.
Y'all had Kyle Shanahan.
I think it'll be reversed,
bro. We had Mike Shula. The difference between Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, is
what you not about to do. What you not for the do. What you not for the do. What you not about to do. What you're not about to do is undermine your defense. Your defense was 7-2 in the league that year.
Was good that year. Y'all had
led the league in turnovers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you're not. That's what you're not going. You focus on the offense. Yes, your offense performed with that defense, but your defense was still giving y'all extra chances. Matt's defense was not giving him extra chances. Matt literally had to go down. Matt spent most of that season driving from one end of the field to the end zone that whole year. Our defense was not getting turnovers like that.
If the Panthers don't have Cam Newton's ability to run like he did, that offense is dead on arrival.
Let me tell you, but here's the thing. But hold on. Listen. Here's the thing, though. All right, just hear me out. All right, Carolina, y'all had a good defense that year, and y'all special team unit was good. Yeah. And let me tell you something about Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has played with so many offensive coordinators. This man has adjusted, has adapted so many times. And you see quarterbacks like Alex Smith and all these other guys who had a revolving door offense coordinators, and you saw them struggle.
Good point.
Like, Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. Y'all got to stop disrespecting this man.
Would you
say let me say this, Cody.
All right, go ahead.
Let me. Do I take Devontae Smith or Jonathan Stewart?
Yeah, who would you take who would you prefer, Devontae Smith or Jonathan Stewart as a running back?
Dude, yeah, but hold on. Let's pause real quick. I got it. Because let me tell you something. Because y'all had D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. That was a dynamic duo. Do not do that.
We didn't have D'Angelo in 2015. We didn't have D'Angelo then.
But still,
you okay? So you trying to undermine Jonathan Stewart, but do you think Jonathan Stewart missed that block?
Jonathan Stewart. I'm asking you who you would prefer, Jonathan Stewart or Devontae Smith.
I mean, that's kind of a toss-up. I mean, because like Freeman had a good year, no doubt about it, but it was based off Shanahan's system as well.
Yeah.
Okay, like that zone.
Okay, Julio Jones or Ted Ginn Jr.
Okay, of course Julio.
Mohamed Sanu or Jericho Codais?
Who's Jericho Codais?
Hold on, stop. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna have to.
No, you focus on the offense, but you. No, dog. He's focused on the referee. He's focused on the referee, but he's not talking about the defense. He's not talking about the defense. He's not talking about the defense.
Listen. We're not gonna do this because that's gonna add a whole nother hour to the show, which we don't have. Okay,
all right.
The bottom line is I already gave you the facts of.
No. I'm gonna play this game. You gonna give me Desmond Trufant or Peanut Tillman?
Peanut Tillman.
Robert Alford or Josh Norman?
Yeah, no one's denying that.
We playing your game. We playing your game.
Josh,
Vic Beasley or Jerry Allen.
What year we talking about, though?
He comparing teams.
No,
you compare offenses.
Let me get back.
Wait. I just want to play this one more. I just want to play it one just for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Tom Brady or Matt Ryan?
Come on, man.
Tom Brady.
No, I'm asking.
Oh, Tom
Look,
Brady.
I can't even believe they're even thinking about it.
I'm
Brady, man.
I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, but I'm only taking Brady because of the rings. I'm only taking Brady for the rings.
Man,
Yeah, 'cause
playoff
All right.
success,
Seven.
All
man.
right, so all right,
All
let
right.
me get back to my topic because we've got to end the show. All right, so here's the thing, okay? We talked about the defense. I mentioned the Saints, I mentioned the Buccaneers, and I mentioned the Panthers. All right, the thing about Atlanta's defense, we know we've been horrible for years. Now here's the thing: you bring in a guy like Dean Pease. Dean Pease have never fielded anything less than an average defense.
Right.
All right. We should be skating somewhere around that. All right, just by him walking in the door.
Year
All
one.
right. Yeah,
Right out
year
the
one.
gate. Okay.
Year one out the gate, we should be ranked average, and that's good for Matt Ryan's offense to have.
Why?
You know,
Why, Don?
Because it's the best he's had in years.
because if you have a defense that can back him up, we can win games.
No, but what I'm saying is like, who did y'all have defensively? Do you feel like that he can like kind of make something happen with? You know what I'm saying? You still
You talking about
like,
play like
you still-
player
you can-
wise?
Yeah, you still can have scheme and stuff like that, but you need the personnel. So I mean, what makes you,
You
that
got all
confident?
right.
That
So
he can
you
turn
have
it
great.
around?
You still got Grady Jarrett. Okay.
Right. Okay.
You got
All right.
Deion Jones. You got Foye Olakun, who had a good year last year.
Okay.
AJ
All right.
Terrell, who had a good. He could have been Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. solid.
You bring in a guy like Fabian Moreau. You just drafted Richard Grant,
Right.
who I think one of the best safeties in coming out of college football last year.
I
And then you got
really like
Marlon Davidson who's
Yeah.
looking good, and then you also have John Kaminsky that's looking good. Like I said, like we have players on the team. It just they can't put it together because of the coaching staff.
I was
Like,
mad when y'all drafted Richie, bro. I
Yes.
really liked Richie.
Richard Grant is a good player.
Yeah,
But
no doubt.
but like I'm saying about this situation right now with Dean Pease coming in, like I feel like I'm very optimistic that our defense is gonna turn the tide and get better.
Yeah, I mean, I was just asking, man. You know, like I said, I just wanted to see what what made you that optimistic about it. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
good
it's
points.
fair.
Good points. You know,
Like I would say this, like for our defense, we ain't got no other choice but to go up. Like,
Right.
bro,
I wanted to say that too.
we've been bottom barrel. Like, listen, dog.
Can't get any lower.
And I'm giving respects to all y'all teams because all y'all defense has been better than ours over the years. So we don't have no choice but to go up. Like even when y'all had y'all down years, y'all defense was better than our defense. So like I said,
I don't know about that, man.
So,
You're Brandon Browner.
but also okay. The Saints, y'all had a couple slaps down. Yes, but it ain't been as bad as the Falcons. At least y'all did make some type of rise. Like, come on, dog.
Exactly. So
Man, we had maybe like if we being honest, man, and like I said, I just try. I'll be honest about the team. 2009 probably was the best defense. You know what I'm saying? The Saints probably had until probably 2018. Like, they had a long stretch where they couldn't stop a nosebleed, bro. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't stop traffic with a stop sign. Like, they was horrible.
Name the last time you seen the Falcons with a good defense.
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been.
That's all I have to say.
The last time we had a dominant defense, the last time we had a defense that was feared, and that was like what 2000 when we had Wade Phillips. All right, 2002. Yeah,
Wade
Oh, two.
that's the last time we had a good defense. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming on. One more time, I'm gonna let y'all introduce y'all. I'm gonna let y'all, plug y'all stuff. Start with Ren.
I'm from Buccaneers Eccentric podcast called the PewterCast. We go 3 times a week during the offseason. We only go once a week. We go 3 times a week. Go right after kickoffs. Right after the whistle blows and it hits 3-0 at the fourth quarter. We go live. We have people call in, video in like this here at StreamYard. Midweek, we bring in a beat reporter, our boots on the ground guy, sort of finish off the game last week and start looking ahead to next week. And then the third show we're changing this year. We used to do it on Friday night after the injury report came out and go over both injury reports and kind of say like this is what we're looking for and that type of thing. But we might do something fun. We might actually simulate Madden games and just let the computer do it and then put it out on YouTube.
Oh, he ain't say that. He ain't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you just do the voiceover and throw it up on a pod on Saturday. We just might do that. So we don't know. We're still thinking about the third show, but yeah. So anyway, at the PewterCast, if anyone out there, wants to know what's up with the Buccaneers, just pop it into your podcast, finder and click on one of the episodes.
All right. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, of course,
right.
anytime.
All right. Appreciate it. TJ.
And once again, I'm TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. You can check out the State of the Saints podcast on Twitter at State of Saints. The State of the Saints podcast is now under the umbrella of Media Labs, also a part of the Pigskin Podcast Network starting September the 1st. So you can go online to pigskinpodcastnetwork.com, check out some of the audio podcasts, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. Man, we try to give quality content, man. We get, some of the best and brightest names in the NFL, man. We've had, Steve Weish on the show, Jim Trotter, Stan Verrett, a couple of Saints players, Zach Streif. Going to be having a couple more, special guests coming on. A lot of Saints beat writers, the voice of the Saints who's going to be calling play-by-play. So you never know who you're going to see or hear from on the State of the Saints podcast, man. So check it out. Shouts out to all y'all, man. I know, we get a little heated, but that's just the passion that we all have for our teams, all the love that we have for our teams and stuff like that. And I appreciate it, man. And thank y'all for bringing that passion out, man. I appreciate that. I enjoy myself, and that's what it's all about, man. If we didn't, act this way, I mean, what would that passion be? You know what I'm saying? That just shows you how much love and passion we have for our squad. So, man, salute to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wish y'all all the success in the world. Continue to kick butt, represent y'all team, going hard and strong, man. So hopefully this won't be the last time we get together so we can talk about these teams.
It won't.
Well
Trust
said.
me. We got two games coming up, so trust me. Yeah. Right. Appreciate you coming on, though.
Man, thank you, man.
No problem. Cody?
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having me on once again. My name is Cody Lashley. I'm the co-host of the C3 Panthers podcast every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on YouTube. We just introduced a brand new show, the Friday Free-for-All, every Friday at 7 p.m. And that's for literally anybody that wants to come chill, man. Any of y'all here in the chat room, any of y'all on this podcast here right now, we can come on and talk about football, hang out anytime. That's for everybody. And then during the season, we're going to do a post-game show after every single Panthers game. And that is the C3 Panthers podcast. You can also find my work on drafttech.com, where I am the analyst for the Carolina Panthers, where I write first and second round comments. And find me on Twitter at CodyLac, CodyLac. That's it.
All right. LaTravis?
Again, Don, appreciate you having me on. My name is LaTravis, mainly known as LT by most people. You can find me on Twitter at wordplay_kid26. No, I don't have a show yet, but it is coming soon.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
I feel that passion, bro. Nah, you can't bow to that end, though. Yeah.
Hey, man,
I've been working with these guys for the last couple of years. I'm mostly one of the guys that's do behind the scenes and stuff. Yeah. But they've been begging me to get in front of the camera more often, so I'm giving it an opportunity to do so. But just right now, as you see, because everybody been talking about the shirt, gotta go to work. Somebody gotta get their car towed. So, so y'all be good.
Whenever you make your own show, man, reach out to me. I'll come on and hang out with you if you want to talk football.
Hey, man, I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, me too,
man. You know.
All right.
Yeah, me too, I guess, then.
All right, you guys. So, hey, appreciate y'all for coming on. Everybody who watching this at a later time, y'all hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what y'all think who's going to win the NFC South. If you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out, Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. This is another episode of the Dun's Favorite here on For Everybody Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's your boy, The Dun. Hey, y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all next time. We out. Peace.
Keep pounding.